of Uganda, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, crossed borders to Kenya as he fought alongside Milton Obote against the regime of General Idi Amin Dada. A family in Kamuriai, Teso North Constituency, Busia County, offered him accommodation, and 50 years later, upon assuming power, Museveni rewarded those who had helped him by constructing them decent houses. But one family was not so lucky. How did these particular family fail to catch Museveni's eye? Our Western Region reporter Wycliffe Oketch visited 81-year-old George Opa, the only surviving son of Museveni's Kenyan comrade, and filed the following report. Let's take a look.
We arrive at George Opa's home in Kamuriai village, Teso North Constituency, Busia County. Gloom and melancholy clearly discernible. Opa has just lost his wife, Catherine Mombi, this particular morning, compounding the sad state of affairs. Opa still suffering from the effects of a stroke attack. He can barely walk on his own. After a while, we get to interact with him, but his condition renders the interaction a little difficult. His son, Elias Wandera, steps in for the father.
Wakati ambapo nyanya alikuwa akiwa hai, alikuwa analia, akilia kuhusu watoto wake ambao walienda, mandugu za baba.
The family tells us how the late family patriarch Karani Oteba risked his life in 1971 as he offered Yoweri Kaguta Museveni accommodation when he fought alongside Milton Obote to overthrow the then government of Idi Amin Dada.
Ukoo yake kijana anaitwa Raito Mongin aliweza kuja katika familia hii wakati ya vita ya Uganda.
George Opa tells us how he and his two brothers James Oteba and Laban Opio, both now deceased, were recruited to join Museveni's squad.
Hasa wakati wamekaa kwa hii boma kwa babu Lawi Karani Oteba, wakaanza kuwa na uhusiano ya karibu na hiyo familia. Ndiposa babu aliweza kuahidi kupeana vijana wake.
Eventually, when Obote managed to assume power in 1979, Museveni held posts in the transitional government and in 1980 ran for the presidency. When the elections widely believed to have been rigged were won by Milton Obote, Museveni formed the National Resistance Movement, which waged a guerrilla war against Obote's regime. The resistance eventually prevailed, and on January 26, 1986, Museveni declared himself President of Uganda. Now, the family of Oteba introduces us to Abu Akileng, a former representative of the Mela sub-county in Uganda and the area chair of the National Resistance Movement. We are told that upon ascending to the top seat, Museveni began recognizing and rewarding his then comrades on both sides of the Malaba border by building them decent houses. And with that, Abu Akileng guides us across the border into Uganda. We arrive at the home of David Namunyu, said to have been a close confidant of Museveni. David died in 2001 but is survived by Marsa Kakai David, now aged 69. Marsa cannot hide her joy for the 3-bedroom mansion reportedly constructed by the Uganda military.
Nilifurahi kabisa kutoa mimi kwa nyasi. Ninafurahi kabisa. Asanteni sana.
About 5 kilometers away in Katapala village, still within Mela sub-county in Uganda, we meet Ekabat Samuel. He claims to have helped Museveni cross the Malaba River to the Kenyan side. And when he crossed, Museveni would reportedly have lunch at the home of Henry Odeke, whose wife Virginia Atieng says to have served in the British Army.
Every time they come, they would sit somewhere and they will talk. When Mama maybe prepares for them a meal and they give them malua, that is a local brew, and they will drink.
Ekabat too has been rewarded accordingly.
Museveni alikuja paka kwangu. Mimi ndio nilificha yeye Alafu sasa mimi naona yeye nasema to upeleka sisi nataka kwenda kuanza vita. Napika asante Museveni anijengea nyumba ile nashinda watu yote.
Abu tells us that these are just a few of the houses President Museveni gave the families of his former comrades.
And we do appreciate so much. They have at least erected a house for the family that it can help the family to stay in. The widow is here, but we still pray the helping hand of the president still to continue so that this family can be uplifted to certain status.
But across the border on the Kenyan side, the Oteba family says it is yet to be recognized, and efforts to catch the eye of President Museveni have not yielded any fruit.
Kama mmeenda kuinda msituni porini, mkichinja ng'ombe, mkipata mbuzi ama mkipata sungura, si mtaleta kwa meza mgawe pamoja?
From the look of things, one can easily tell that all is not well for Oteba's family. Their tribulations and adversities well written in their sad faces. But this family believes that the pain and suffering they've endured for so long will vanish when their plea gets to the ears of Uganda's President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, whom they reportedly accommodated during his years of pursuit of the country's leadership.